Good morning. It's Monday, April 8th, and the war in Gaza has turned a long pipeline of U.S. weapons to Israel into the spotlight, so to speak. Now, President Biden has been abiding by a law or a pact or a treaty or some document that was signed under Obama. In the Obama era, $38 billion of aid was guaranteed to Israel until the year 2026. And Israel's purchases include the types of bombs dropped in Gaza. There are many who say that Israel is out of whack because of the attacks and the way they have been fighting. But many overlook the fact that Israel is surrounded on all four sides by enemies. And they are constantly being attacked, not only by Hamas, but by Hezbollah and by ISIS. They are under constant bombardment. So when people want them to take it easy and be the good guy in this situation, I find that very difficult for anybody to do. Living 24/7 for years under attacks by their surrounding nations. And would Israel still be in good shape if it were not for the United States? This pact that the United States has with Israel has lasted a long, long time, even prior to the Obama administration. So why? Why is there such a big hullabaloo about the way that Israel is treating the people of Gaza? I don't really see that Israel has much choice. Yes, they could do a little bit better letting the aid get into that country. But they cannot take their eyes off Gaza for an instant. Because not only is the Gaza government against Israel, the people of Gaza are against Israel. And we must understand that. This is not a one-time situation. This is a situation that has been constantly going on. Israel is not wanted in that part of the world. The Jews are not wanted in many places in the entire universe. So why? Why are so many people upset and against them? Why are there rallies? Why do they want these people in Gaza to have the great life? They had a good life. Israel left that country in 2005. And what did they do? They allowed Hamas to take over the government. They allow Hamas to build tunnels and live in their home. Is that Israel's fault? Why does Hamas need tunnels? If they're supposed to be a peaceful nation, those tunnels are for one purpose and one purpose only: to destroy Israel, to kill the Jews in this world. And that's why I can have very little sympathy with the people in Gaza. They did not stand up for their own rights, and maybe they couldn't. And if they were intelligent, then they would have asked help for others in the universe. But in that part of the world, Israel is the enemy. There is not one nation in that part of the world that really, really wants Israel to survive. Yes, Israel has treated with Egypt, and maybe they were on the verge with Saudi Arabia too. But then Hamas started this war, and all of the Arab nations backed away from Israel. So what is Israel to do? They need weapons, and they have an agreement with the U.S. that has to run many, many years. And yet there are still some senators and some congressmen in the U.S. that don't want to abide by that agreement. They don't want Israel to have the arms. And yes, they have sympathy for the dead children of Gaza and the people of Gaza who have been displaced. But is that really all Israel's fault? It's not all Israel's fault because the Gazan people accepted that. And many of the Gazan people, if you watched the attack on October 7th, you saw the civilians standing outside the fences, throwing rocks, helping their attackers. And when those attackers came home with hostages, the people of Gaza were cheering the rape and the showing off of the Israeli captives, the women stripped naked and marched through the streets and beheading children. Is that what we're concerned about? Should we be concerned about a group of people who cheered when that event took place? I don't think so. I think Israel is in a very tenuous position. The world is basically against them. The United Nations has sanctioned them more than it has sanctioned any other country in the world. So you can't tell me that Israel should take it easy in any way, shape, or form. They are desperately fighting to survive. A nation of 7 million in a world population of several billion has that much turned against them. And you expect them to be lenient when their lives are at stake. It can't happen. Recognize the facts. Israel is a gigantic underdog that has managed to survive many years with most of the world population against them. So we must recognize that Israel made a huge mistake in allowing the attack on October 7th. They took their eyes off the ball. This is a nation that can never rest. It must be eternally alert because they are surrounded by people who want them gone. And we, the rest of the world, must recognize that fact and cut Israel a little slack when they are defending themselves. They did not start this mess. How would you like to live like that? I leave you with that this morning. Have a great day. Bye.
Thank you.